Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. Pretty wild day. In the morning, we had CPI numbers come out. Pretty much started off well. We gapped up at the open. We could just look at the S&P really quickly. If we go down to maybe the 15-minute, gapped up at the open. Then immediately we went all the way back down to fill the gap, and then after that we ran all the way back up on the S&P, and we actually closed at a pretty decent level on the S&P. If we go back in time, we're actually now, like literally, I'm on the 15-minute chart, so this could change at open tomorrow, and futures are currently red on the S&P, but we actually, at the close, we held our previous all-time high as support on the S&P 500, which is about 42.38. We'll see if that can hold tomorrow, but that would be optimal if we close above that tomorrow as well. In terms of that bearish divergence, it is stalling out for now, which is also good. It's not developing. We go over to the 4-hour on the S&P 500, same thing. It's stalling out for now. It's not developing. And the 1-hour might be, yeah, it's green again. And it's actually, there's no chance of getting classic bearish divergence anymore because you made a higher high on the 1-hour at MACD. So pretty interesting day for the S&P 500. Highest close ever is a good thing in my opinion. Any day we close above 42.38 is bullish, just how I'm looking at it. And hopefully maybe we get like another, short-term rally, and then eventually that bearish divergence plays out. There's no way to know until it happens, or until it confirms. But there still is a very decent chance of it eventually happening. Until then, we'll see. Really the story of today was a lot of names that have just been pretty slow all week or advancing just a little bit during the week. Actually did pretty well today. A lot of tech names, a lot of large caps, a lot of healthcare stocks are doing very, very well today. And then on the flip side, the stocks that were running all week going crazy, the Wall Street bet stocks, the high shorted stocks, the SPACs, some of the EVs, they pulled back today. And I think that was kind of natural. A lot of things broke support levels right at the open, even though the market opened up green. So it was a pretty interesting day. It was pretty much like the opposite of what the last 4 days have been if you kind of look at a lot of the sectors in a certain way, not completely. But as people are rolling into the stream, I'm just going to look at Bitcoin. After we look at Bitcoin, we'll probably talk more about the stock market, and then we'll move into Clover, UWMC, Fisker, the ongoing trades, all that stuff. So make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching the stream. Bitcoin, not really doing too much difference. The same exact thing as yesterday. Pretty flat day. Still looks good to me. I mean, yes, you are in between the, in the little range that's created, but I mean, you pretty much bottomed out twice at 31,000. Put in a bullish pin bar, then a nice green candle, and now you're not even giving up the gains. Like, you're holding your gains, most of them, right? So Bitcoin's still looking pretty decent. Altcoins not doing too well right now. A lot of them are red in the last couple of hours. And let's go back to the stock market. The Russell 2000 pulled back today, which is kind of like, the explanation of what I just said. This is a small cap index, so that makes sense. It's still fine. You're still above the symmetrical triangle breakout. It could even back test the breakout, flip it, the previous resistance into a support, then run again. Anything's possible. Still looks good in my opinion. The NASDAQ, we'll see how this, turns out. I'm not too sure about the NASDAQ. It's just kind of in this weird area for right now where I could see it going either way. And then just to continue, the VIX also had a pullback today because the S&P and the NASDAQ were green, or mainly the S&P was green. That's what really affects this. This was technically a bearish engulfing candle on the VIX, but you did close around that $16 support, and you are stalling out your bullish divergence, which is good, I guess. And then finally, to close up the day, the ARK ETF was actually up, which is interesting to me. I didn't think that this would be up on a day like today, so not sure, which stocks were running like crazy that brought this up. I'm sure a good amount of them were not doing too well today, but they obviously, changed things. And yeah, finally, the US 10-year yield has broken under support, which is good for equities. I mean, anything under 145 is like bearish again for this. And obviously it went crazy from August of 2020 until about April of this year. But yeah, that's really, the stock market coverage for today. Nothing, I mean, it was a pretty wild day, but it's also very straightforward about what kind of happened. I'm sure there's like no surprises from anything I said. Nothing really has changed except for, some intraday volatility, pretty decent close on the S&P. Futures, S&P futures are down 0.17%, and then NASDAQ futures are actually up 0.07%. So that's interesting as well. Let's talk about Clover. Is anybody here? We got 2 chats, but we got 38 people in here. We got 40 people in here and only 2 chats. Let me know what's up if you're in the chat. Hit that like button. Only 11 likes. I feel like I'm speaking to nobody. But yeah, Clover got wrecked today. That's not surprising. If you watched last night's stream, I talked about one very important level. It tried to hold that level for like half an hour in the morning, and as soon as it broke that level, it turned into a very ugly day for Clover. So if you watched last night's stream, you knew about this level. You know the number I'm about to say. That level was $17. Really what happened with Clover was in pre-market, I believe Bank of America downgraded it, and it was down like 5% or 6%, whatever, in pre-market. But then they released like a little, I don't even know what it was, but there was some sort of news or something that came out of like a partnership. I can't remember, but then it actually went from being down in pre-market to going green in pre-market, and it was up like 5% around when the open occurred. Let me just go all the way back up here so we can kind of look at it. So where did we open today? It was right over here. So you could see you were up about 4% at the open, and then immediately that kind of just got taken away. This is the wrong place. Why am I all the way there? Today was the 10th. Why am I so confused right now? This was the 9th. The 10th. I guess, oh, okay, so it was this candle. I was looking for a green candle. This was pretty much what happened. You opened up over here, and then you just pretty much immediately gave that up like very quickly. And once you broke this level, that 1682 level, this was literally charted last night. I know I just added it because I cleared up my chart, but if you go back to the stream last night, it's literally there. You broke that level. As soon as you broke that level, I knew that I was pretty risky, and it did get pretty rough during the day. What's the next major area? That's in the title of the stream. Well, you do have 1322 on Clover. That was your high over here, it was your low over here, and it was your high over here. So 1320 is like the next major area in my opinion. However, if you get down to 1320, then you're only a buck away from filling the gap from, I believe, Tuesday morning. So really how I'm looking at Clover is like this. This yellow area between 12 to 1320 is kind of how I'm viewing this support, because there's really nothing until there. I think it was up maybe a couple percent after hours, or like, I don't even remember, but there's really not anything in between here and there. So, I mean, I've just been looking at this chart. I've just been looking at the levels, and so far, if you've been watching the streams all week, it's pretty much gone to like all the levels. And that's not because I'm super smart. It's just because it's pretty easy to read this chart, or it has been this week at least. And even down here when I put out the alerts. So we'll see what happens. Of course, you could get a reflex rally just because it went from $28 to $14, like within, 24 hours pretty much, or a little bit over 24 hours. So sure, you could get a reflex rally, make a lower high, drop again. At this point, it's like anything is possible in this zone because you have very little data in this zone, and all you did the last time you were in between 13 and 17 was go straight up, straight down. So, anything in between 1320 and 17, I have no clue. I just don't know. And then the support I'm looking at again is this range over here, and then resistance is around $17 from your previous all-time high. And those are the levels I'm looking at on Clover. Obviously, you can't get any divergence or patterns with a move like that on the daily. What else we got in the chat? CLOV 1 hour looks good, so we could take a look at it. Yeah, on the 1 hour, hidden bullish divergence can eventually occur on the MACD and RSI, but again, you never know. I mean, I'm not really touching Clover right now. Already made a good amount of profit on it ever since right over here around, I think I got long Clover around $7.80. Traded it up to like $10, got out, then got back in around $10 like 2 days later. The only part I missed was the gap up on Tuesday. That was the only part I wasn't in for, which I definitely did regret. But then then it came all the way back down. I got long again. I'm not going to go over everything, but made a good amount of profit on Clover this morning when it broke 17. I got out, and that definitely saved me from potentially turning a win into a loss eventually. Because I've traded a bunch of options on Clover in the last like 2 weeks, and I didn't have that much going into today, but I had an okay amount. And you know, I just cut that for really quickly for a little loss, but compared to everything else that I've made off of it, I don't really care too much. On the flip side, UWMC, let's talk about it. I am in UWMC right now. I mean, I've been in UWMC for most of this week, but already made a ton of profit on it. It was my biggest trade this week. If you're a premium member, you know why. It went up 450% overnight. I think we got in over here. June 8th was Tuesday. So I alerted UWMC options on Tuesday to premium members, and then yesterday morning, woke up, they were up 450%. I sold 75% of my options up over here, kept 25%. So now I'm still in profit on that 25%, but I think I was up 450% there. Now I'm only up like 100% over here on that final 25% of my position. So I'm still holding it, and UWMC looks really interesting. Now, originally, when I got into UWMC, it was this ascending triangle. This was it. This is why I got really bullish on it. It was an ascending triangle, and it was a huge level. This 916 level was the low over here, the high over here, the high on that candle, if you can kind of see it. And then it was consolidating in this ascending triangle for a whole entire week. I got long around over here, and then boom. But at this point, UWMC is really interesting because Clover did the same exact thing. And obviously, like I said last night on stream, you know, very, very different scenarios. Obviously, Clover has a lot more hype around it because of the pretty much, I think it has like double the short interest of UWMC. And UWMC also had like a dividend this week or something. But that ascending triangle on the 1 hour, if we go over to Clover, gotta go all the way back down. Where was it? Was it this? I think it was this, yeah. Clover did a very similar thing before it got wild. It had pretty much like this ascending triangle formation, and that breakout point was very important. It was a very big resistance, and then eventually broke it and it went insane. And what it also did on the daily was, if we look up over here, the first day that it pretty much closed above its 200-day moving average was like the last time it was under that 12 level. And then again on, what was this, Tuesday, it gapped up. UWMC has now closed above the 200-day moving average for 2 days in a row. And that's the first 2 days it's ever done that, because it only appeared back in February on this chart, and it's never closed above that level until yesterday and today. It was also up like a little bit after hours. I'm still watching UWMC. The biggest concern on this one is this gap that's really not that far away, so it could definitely go and fill that gap and then do whatever, but just got my eyes on it. Obviously needs a lot more confirmation. This is not like a casual swing trade setup. There's no divergence or patterns or anything. It's just me trying to compare one stock to another stock, and I think they kind of look similar, but obviously they're in different situations. But we'll see what happens. Already made a crazy ton on UWMC this week, and just keeping an eye on it. Other than that, just a lot of the Wall Street Bet stocks pulled back today. GME was down 27%. I didn't look at after hours, so I don't know what happened, but it pretty much gapped down a little bit, went all the way back down to this 220 level, which was the low from May 28th, and it closed right at that. After hours, it was up 4%, so got a little bit higher after hours. AMC as well, huge pullback. It all started with this symmetrical triangle. Looks better on the 1 hour. It went all the way to the apex of the triangle, broke to the downside, and it's just been trending downwards. There is actually hidden bullish divergence developing on the 1 hour chart. We'll see if it plays out, but not my type of trade for right now. And this is just the theme for a lot of these stocks that have been popping like crazy. They just kind of faded today. You know, Geo was another highly shorted one. That was my biggest L today. I tried to catch the dip on it, didn't work. What else? CLVS as well, right over here. I mean, this trade, we're looking at trades that were already amazing. Like CLVS was like a 33% profit in like a week, and now it's pulling back. Like, you can't be surprised that things are pulling back after Clover goes from $7 to $28, after this thing goes from $5 to $7 in 1 day. You know, when things happen that quickly, people take profits. Welcome to the stock market. And now we're just in this scenario where it's like, Was everything that happened the last 4 days or last 3 days a pump and dump? Or is this like a potential buying opportunity before another bounce back up? You know, it's strange. On one hand, you have really no technicals to help you out on the daily on most of these charts. You just kind of have a gap up, then a big red candle, and then some continuation. On the other hand, a lot of them are holding their 200-day moving averages, and they pretty much closed right around them, like CLVS, like UWMC. So what I'll be watching tomorrow on a lot of these names is to see, I mean, Clover is miles above its 200-day moving average, but I mean, I'll just be looking to see if they can hold above their 200-day moving average. Obviously, there's gaps to fill on most of these names, so I'm watching that as well. And yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm telling you right now, there's probably 70% chance I'll go long on Clover if it gets over here. If it comes back down to this range tomorrow, there's probably a 70% chance I'll trade it, but I'm not saying 100% because who knows what the market looks like. Who knows if there's bad news or, you know, the technicals just don't look good on low time frames. And also, please keep in mind that would not even be my typical kind of trade. It's just, I've just been having fun with a lot of these names and it's been working out for the past week, except for today. And today wasn't even that bad, you know. So, you know, after making hundreds of percents, giving back 7-8% is not a big deal at all. But you know, this is the important area. It might not ever get there. It just went from 28 to 14. It could just rip again. Like, there's no way to know what happens tomorrow based on true technical analysis as a swing trader on the daily time frame. So I'll just be watching the low time frames tomorrow when the market opens, but I can't really speak about them yet because the market's closed. So that's really just how I'm looking at these things. I'm not, you know, going crazy into them. I'm just managing my risk, trading the low time frames, and we'll see if it can continue, or maybe this is over. Maybe I'll go back over to my growth stocks, which also have been, you know, they've been pulling back a little bit this week, but the last 2 or 3 weeks they've been going insane. So again, I'm just going to go wherever I feel I have the best opportunity to make money. That can change by the day, so we'll figure it out tomorrow. I'm just giving you my readings from today. And yeah, talk about Fisker next. Again, you know, I was talking about it yesterday. I really said I don't know, and I still don't know. You know, it pulled back a little bit today with a lot of similar names. It closed above 1730, which is the support I have over here. It used to be resistance. I'm still not too sure on Fisker for the short term. You know, I don't see a pattern. I don't see divergence. A lot of these names already ran. We just had 2 or 3 weeks of probably over 20 trades. No, definitely over 20 trades hitting targets for major gains. Like, you know, after that happens, it's okay to take a pause for a little bit, let the oscillators reset, let the data come in, let patterns be created, let supports be tested or moving averages, and just wait for those, you know, high quality setups that we had in the beginning of May that led to a great, you know, few weeks. There is okay quality setups right now, but I'm not good with okay. I want good quality setups right now, and I'm just not seeing too many. So until I get them, I'll just be patient, you know. I'll day trade a little bit here and there until the swing trades come. You know, you can't force them. I don't force them. You can try. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. That's just how I'm looking at the market. Put out a new alert today for everybody, PSTH. This one's interesting. You know, I was watching, there was like this funny video that somebody made. It's like a puppet talking about the fundamentals of this SPAC and everything, but there's obviously a lot of controversy around this SPAC deal with UMG and everything and how they're structuring the deal, which is pretty unique, I guess, or kind of. But just looking at the chart like I do with most of my charts, you have a right angled descending broadening wedge. Honestly, it's probably better to chart it like this. You get more touches because you do need 2 on the top, 3 on the bottom to get your 5 touches. So regardless, you can see you're making those lower lows with this sell wall around 2350 and potential classic bullish divergence. It's not even really developing yet. Really, this chart, the way I'm looking at it is there's a bunch of potential things occurring where you have a close to a bullish shark, but not perfectly a bullish shark, just kind of within the ranges. You have potential classic bullish divergence, and you have a gap to fill over here just to kick things off if it wants to. So just a lot of potential things occurring here that I'm just giving it a shot on. You know, if it doesn't work out, it's an 8% loss. I put my stop loss like 20 cents below the previous all-time lows. And it's just a few different indicators lining up at the same time. We'll see how it works out. Just a new swing. It's right at the entry as we speak. What else? QS. So close yet so far. It pulled back 11% today. That was really tough to see. This trade was right now. This trade's only up 7% since the entry. Yesterday at the close, this trade was up 22%. So very tough to see that. And it was only, during yesterday's high, it was up 25% since the entry. It was only about 3% away from the target. So definitely frustrating on this one. It kind of held the support at the close. But I don't know what happened, US. That was probably the biggest disappointment from today, from the trades. Obviously the worst performing trade. Even though it's still in profit, it's not nice to see something, that was once, or not even once, but literally yesterday up, it's 20+% since the entry dropped 10% in one day. Like, it's okay. It's okay. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we can reclaim this 28th level tomorrow. But who knows? Maybe it goes back down to the entry. Like, we'll see what happens. It was so close. So close. HUIA, another one that pulled back. This already hit the first target for a 16% gain earlier this week. LVS was actually green today. I would like to see it get back above the 200-day moving average. It pretty much just came down to that low from the beginning of May and just bounced out at it. So we'll see how that continues. SPG hit the target. THCB hit the target. Fisker we already talked about. And then PGRE also hit a target. So there's not that many new swing trades out. I already explained why. Golden retrace on, did you mean QS? If you're talking about QS, yeah, pretty much around that golden retrace. So closed. It actually kind of tested it during the day and then bounced a little bit at it. So that's that. Futures, S&P futures. It's pretty strange. S&P futures are actually red, but NASDAQ futures are green. They're both relatively flat, kind of. S&P futures are down 1/5%. So, yeah. Hopefully you hung in there today, or hopefully you crushed it today. I just know a lot of people have been in those, crazy volatile names because they've been making a lot of money for the past week. And, a lot of those crazy names that were making money for the past week pulled back today. So even though the market was green today, I definitely understand if a bunch of people in here, had, some of those names in their portfolios and that pulled them down today. So however you did today, I hope you're hanging it in there. Or if you had a great day because a lot of the, more similar names were up today, like Tesla was up 2%. If you're in those names, I hope you crushed it today. Regardless, it's one day. If you didn't make money, the past few weeks has been insane. I had a red day today. It happens. But again, hundreds of percent made in a couple of weeks compared to losing 7 or 8%. Can't complain. And that's really that for the market, for the trades. That's really the coverage. We're not doing ticker requests just yet. Just gonna take a look at the chat. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just want to see some more likes, some more people chatting. I know that the vibes aren't the same, but we're traders. We show up day in and day out. We got 50 people in here, so same amount of people that were here last night. But I appreciate all the support. Thank you again for the 2,500 subs and everything. Yeah. Anything else? That really covers the majority of what I wanted to talk about today. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next Friday, I believe, is a major options expiration date. So we could see some volatility around that. We saw quite a bit of volatility on that last witching or quadruple witching or triple witching, whichever one it was. So keep that in mind as well. I'm sure you've seen a lot of stocks have contracts expiring for June 18th. I think I only have one contract, or maybe two contracts that are not two contracts, but two options that are for June 18th expiration dates, on two different names. And then most of my options are like July right now. I just don't like playing options on like those major expiration days because there's just so many funny things that happen. People trying to just do weird stuff, hedge funds and all that, trying to make stocks go out of the money, make stocks go in the money, however it is. Yeah, but how's everybody doing? Matey, shout out to Matey in the chat. If you didn't see last night, we actually got timestamps for the whole entire stream. Matey just hooked it up. Just send me a message with the timestamps. Super easy. Thank you so much for that. Let's get some vibes in the chat for him. Dropping the vibes right now. Let me see some. Because I know you all enjoy those timestamps. We were talking about it last night and everybody was saying that they're awesome. So, are these witching days perceived as bearish days or simply volatile? I don't know the actual historical data on them. I should probably look into it tomorrow. I mean, it's not tomorrow, it's next Friday, but I'm not going to look into it right now just because it's probably going to be a bunch of research. But yeah, appreciate the vibes in the chat. Not from me, but from Matey. And yeah, that's really the recap of today. I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm thinking of things to go over and talk about, but I just can't think of much right now. So I guess we'll just do take requests for the rest of this stream. That's it, I guess. I don't know. Hit that like button, drop your takers in the chat. Don't request something that was up 5,000% today. Don't request something that I IPO'd last week because I need data on a chart and I need actual patterns and divergences and candlestick analysis to give you my probabilities. So if you give me something that's a straight line up or a straight line down or something that has 3 candles on the chart, I can't answer your question. So don't get mad if I skip your ticker if you request something like that. And nothing I say is financial advice. All right. FUV. It's above the 200-day moving average. It's definitely rounding out over here. Not too sure about this one. I don't see divergence. I don't see a pattern. The trend is good for right now. It pulled back 13% today, just like a lot of other similar names that have been running up in the past, week or so. I don't even think you can get a harmonic because this looks like an X to A, and then your B would be over here, too deep, and you didn't retrace far enough to get a deep crab. So, I mean, maybe if you, regardless, it's not really a clear X ABC. It's more of like an X, A, B, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of weird to look at it like a harmonic. Maybe you could. Regardless, it's already gone crazy off of these levels, so it wouldn't be at a PCZ right now. Not too much I can do. I'm trying, but there's not a lot to talk about there in terms of how I look at charts. You can see going either way. JAG-X, it was holding that 175 previous resistance. It flipped it into a support, held it for multiple days, closed above it every single day for like a week. Then boom, yesterday was up 20%, and then today pulled back. How many things were going crazy yesterday and then pulled back today? Like all of those crazy names. That was pretty much that was like the story today. So pulled back today, above 175 is still bullish. Next resistance is 216. Break 216, you got yesterday's highs to deal with. Break that, you got a gap fill at 263. GOTU, definitely getting destroyed lately. We really look back over here, you can see this 1431 level was your high on August 30th, 2019, and then it was your support over here at the end of 2019. We come back to the current date. You tried to find support over here. You pretty much got a little bit under it, but then put in a bullish hammer candle. Now you're jumping back up again. Maybe a little bit of a falling wedge is occurring over here. Kind of breaking out of it as well. Pretty small structure. Also, I mean, if you want to count this little wick MACD Island, then I guess you have classic bullish divergence on the daily. I mean, you did go all the way from the top of this green island back down to red, so that was real, but You know, obviously not a huge histogram at all. So I mean, as long as you hold 1431, I guess it's fine. And then MRIN, pretty volatile. Gappy 4-hour chart, I'm not too sure. You know, this one's, it's pump and dumped, and I can say that because it pump and dumped over here, it pump and dumped over here, and it pump and dumped over here. So it's pump and dumped a lot. Will it do it again? Maybe. I don't know. 124 is the major support. It's above that. I don't even know if I want to call this an inverse head and shoulders, just because of like this weird, you know, candle. So like, where would you put your neckline? And then I guess maybe like a little trend line right over here. Maybe an upsloping channel. You know, not too much I could do on this one as well. ENG. This one was a bullish bat reversed, reclaiming 264, previous candle high and candle low from December of last year. If it can hold above 264 and eventually break that 200-day moving average, 382 could be the next level. It was your highs over here, your lows over here, and even the high on this one candle last week, June 1st. So yeah, just got to get back above the 200-day moving average. Pen, we've been talking about it every night. What you want to do is break above the 200-day moving average before falling under 75 bucks. It definitely did break this supply line. Just got to get above this resistance. If you do, first your, you know, gap fills at 90 bucks. After that, you probably just use Fibonacci from your previous swing high to swing low to target, but you got to hold 75. IVR was up 2% today. I don't see any change after hours on Google. It closed above $4. You know, that was that previous resistance area. It's now, at least just for right now, it's your support based on where it closed. And if you can hold above it, your next resistance is 460, right? I think last night or maybe the night before, somebody asked about IVR. I said that next resistance was 460. The exact top today was 460. Not that hard to learn these things, right? Just watch the free course, join the Discord. You could kind of, you know, learn these things within minutes if you just ask the right questions. And these are very simple things, right? I'm not a wizard for saying 2 days ago it was going to go to 460 and show resistance. I literally just looked at this and put a line on the chart. So CTXR, kind of like a rising wedge. You know, however you want to kind of look at it. I'll just chart it like that. Pretty much 1-2 touches on the top, 3 touches on the bottom. So that is a real pattern. You have 5 touches. Potential classic bearish divergence, not looking the best. That's the bearish pattern and bearish divergence on the daily. But the trend is obviously your friend for right now. As long as you're making higher highs and higher lows, you could easily just do something like this. If it does break out to the downside, which it hasn't yet. Make another higher low and then run again. You never know. If it does just keep going crazy, I mean, you are at a make or break area. Look how it used to be your support. You just keep going crazy, 290 is your next resistance. Just that previous high. AEI was up 15% today. I don't know, I did that. I don't really see much over here that's technical on the daily. You know, a gap down. I don't see a pattern here or divergence. I don't really see much of anything to talk about technical wise. And again, understand when I'm saying I don't know or I don't see any technicals to really talk about, that does not mean it's going to go down. It simply just means I seriously have no clue, which means it could go up, it could go down. There's no way for me to know. Am I lagging right now? It's saying the bit rate is lower than recommended. I'm not too sure if I'm lagging, but let me know if I am in the chat. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a gap fill at 633. After that, there's a gap fill at 969. But again, I don't know. I have no clue where this is going to go next. Apparently it's good. I don't know why that tip just glitched out. Neutron Flux Labs with a $3 donation. It would be awful if you had to say premium on stream again. Thank you for the $3 donation. Neutron Flux Labs 28. I said the word. I wasn't going to say it at first, but we are not banning me from saying that word on stream. Very rarely will I ever. I mean, I'd probably say one time a stream. Check out the link if you want to join premium. I'd probably say it maybe one at the most 2 times. All the other times I say it is pretty much when I'm referring to a trade or if somebody is talking about it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say that word as much as I want. And yeah, chatter freeze. I don't know if drinking game is a good idea for the long run. KIQ. I don't really know if this is like a textbook harmonic. I mean, that would have to be a butterfly at the 786, and you did knock it down to a 1618. Came down to the 886 as well. Not too sure, but that's where you reversed. I mean, it was a Fibonacci level. You had the, again, regardless of harmonics. This is another thing people need to understand. Like, look at this. All right. So from these lows up until this high, if we just extend it, you made an 88% retrace, right? And you bounced. Also, from this low up to this high, if we extend it, you went to the 1272 Fibonacci extension and you bounced. So regardless of a harmonic, yes, you did have an XABCD. Maybe it's not a textbook harmonic, but you had multiple Fibonacci sequences lining up at the same point, right? High probability Fibonacci area based on previous pivots in the recent months with classic bullish divergence on the daily. So that definitely, there were definitely bullish signals over here, literally as it was bottoming out, as there was a lot of bullish signals on a lot of stocks between May 13th and 14th and 15th, or 15th was a weekend, but May 17th, I guess, which is kind of when things really kicked off that week. You know, at this point, it's back over the 200-day moving average, which is good. Next resistance is 86 cents. I guess you have that previous high from August of last year at around 80 cents as well. And then your support, you just want to hold above this demand line, all right? SRNG, not enough data on the chart for me to really give you a technical answer. Looks like a SPAC as well, so it just depends on, you know, whichever company it is. Appreciate it, Sonny. All right, there we go. Voyager Digital, okay. Cheddar Freeze dropping a lot of tickers. Let's see if we can find anything. Hit the like button. I want to see 40 likes within 1 minute. All right, there's 5 people who didn't hit the like button. Hit it right now. Doesn't make me money. I don't think it even helps out the algorithm, but it just makes me happier. So I want to see 40 likes within 1 minute. Time starts now. Need 3 more. Need 1 more. I'm not sad, I'm just really tired. Yesterday and today were insanely busy for me. Like, I'm exhausted. I don't even know how I'm gonna trade tomorrow. I just want it to be the weekend already, and I don't want to do nothing for 2 days. Is that everything there? All right, BBIG. Let's see. Rounding bottom. If it breaks over this $6 level, next resistance is 760. Obviously, far better entry areas. There was classic bullish divergence over here at the 200-day moving average. So not the best entry area. Not much of a pattern or any divergence here. So yeah. And again, I'm only talking about technicals. I don't know anything about a lot of these companies fundamentally, so that always is another thing. What did you say about Home Depot? Falling wedge on the daily with classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Falling wedge on the daily. Like that. Yeah, for sure. Falling wedge, down sloping channel. Definitely more of a falling wedge because of the consolidation. Not a lot of context at this area though. The real context is down at like 293. Not any previous highs or lows at this 308 level. Actually, at one point though, was a place where it gapped up and then eventually came down to fill that gap, or actually got really close to it but didn't even fill it, and then I guess now it's actually filled the gap. So it did actually fill the gap at these areas. Not too sure how you would strategize a stop loss here, but yeah, technicals look pretty decent. I wish that it did the same thing, but at this area, at this 293 level, that previous double top, or just resistance. I wish it did it over here so you could put a stop loss. Even like, imagine it does this, all right? And I'm not saying it will, but this is like what I would love. It just trends all the way down here. The divergence continues to develop. You get maybe classic bullish divergence on the daily, triple classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour. And then right over here, you could do this, right? Put your stop loss under the 200-day moving average. And then they got the fibs, target the 618, and that's too much. I mean, too little of a reward to risk. Probably just target the top of the pattern to get up the reward to risk, and then boom, you know. But obviously, it's not there yet. That's just mainly for education, you know, and where I like to take longs rather than just, you know, what the technicals are looking like. But of course, this could play out. What's green today? SPLK. It's taken off. I sent this on the watch list to premium members over the weekend. Never officially alerted it. Double bottom at the PCZ of a bullish shark with classic bullish divergence on the daily. This one's been on my watch list for like weeks now. Not an official trade or anything, just randomly charted it. First target I put was like a gap fill. Second target was like right under the 200-day moving average and another gap fill. Threw a super tight stop loss under this, you know, ice line. It was a great chart. I honestly, in hindsight, definitely should have taken the, you know, not the risk, but I definitely should have shot the shot on this one. I don't know what to say. Given it an opportunity. I was just a little bit scared with the S&P, which, you know, still has yet to pull back or anything. But yeah, so I mean, even double bottoming, like, this is such a clean chart. Very, very clean. Anything above 107 is super bullish in my opinion on this one. Rail, no divergence on the daily. Probably just something like this. I mean, it's not even that symmetrical or anything, but making lower highs, making higher lows, no divergence. Really, that's, you know, until it breaks out of either the supply line or the demand line, I'm not too sure. HMBL, now it's really starting to look more like a cup and handle. I think we were looking at this recently. I mean, not cup and handle, inverse head and shoulders. And then potential double bottom off the 200-day moving average. You really want to hold this 140 level. If you can, and if you can do this, you can just do this. That would be amazing. That would be great. Other than that, not much to talk about. BRQS. I don't know, you know, still making lower highs and lower lows. Until it starts doing this, I'm not too sure. I want to start, I mean, it's in an uptrend right now, but I like to see it make a higher low on a dip and then continue to do so, because there's not a pattern or divergence here. So all you can really look at is the trend, and it still technically is not back over this 97 cent level, like right there. I mean, it's very choppy regardless. Like, you could put like 1,000 lines in that little range, you know. There's a bunch of different lows. But yeah, this BRQS, I'm sorry for like having no energy. I'm just like, since 8:30, just been non-stop work today. KIQ, we already looked at this one earlier. I mean, back to daily. Breaking over the 200 moving average, you just got to hold this Oh my gosh, welcome back. I'm sorry for screaming. Welcome back, print. What? Well, that just changed my mood like immediately. I just went from saying like I'm sorry for no energy and like Wow. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, Prince. Sheesh. Print headshots. Thank you so much for the $250 donation. Let's get some vibes in the chat, everybody, all right? Print, thank you for all the advice you've given me, for all the support you've sent my way over the past 5-6 months, I believe, at this point. Definitely, since December, I believe maybe November as well. Thank you for everything, Print. Sheesh. I need more vibes in the chat. No. I want to see more vibes in the chat right now, Print. I don't think I've ever said thank you to anybody. Maybe my parents, but other than my parents, I don't think I've ever said thank you to anybody more than you. So I'll say it 3,000 more times. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. You know, how much you've helped me out. For people who don't know, Print, now you do. Okay, now you do. Let's go. Let's go. I don't want to scream because, you know, people are sleeping, but sheesh. There's been some crazy, somebody has to make like a montage of like all my reactions to Print tips. Like there was one where I went up to my TV and I like shook my TV pretty much every single time, because this is just my reaction whenever something crazy happens. I go like this because I just can't believe it. But oh my gosh, what? I don't know if you said anything in the chat. Also, I need to read your tip message, which I haven't even read it yet. I don't see anything in the chat, but let me see the tip message. Take the night off and stream a little earlier. Use some of the tip and give Sunny a month of premium. Oh my gosh. Sheesh. Thank you so much. Again. Yeah, I mean, if Print wants me to give it to you, sure. Just DM me on Discord. Sure, DM me on the Discord and send me a picture of your YouTube account, because I don't want just all the people in the stream to randomly DM me saying that they're you, asking for it for free. So just DM me, Sunny, send me a screenshot of your YouTube account, and yeah, I'll hook you up. Well, I'm not gonna hook you up. Print is gonna be hooking you up. Yeah, I'll get rest tomorrow. We're gonna keep it going. We got a lot more tickers to look at. Print, for the however many at the time, thank you so much. Like I've always said, you ever need anything, let me know. You're the best. 250. Wow. I don't even know, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm like, thank you. We'll attempt to go back to charting now. I think Tilray was the next one. I can't stop smiling too. Completely changed my mood for sure. So thank Print for me actually, you know, being more energized now. Tilray, we've been looking at it every night. Still nothing has changed. You know, broke out of a falling wedge at the 200-day moving average. There was classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. It's gone. You know, these were the areas based on technicals to take along. It's already gone. It hit 3 different targets for a 55% gain in under a month. At this point, based on true technical analysis, I'm not too sure. You know, not too sure. VYGR, just supply line, kind of like a descending triangle. You know, you have 3 touches on the bottom, 2 on the top, so that is a textbook descending triangle. Technically, I mean, kind of. If you really zoom in, you don't have it, but if you just kind of look at the fact that these are pretty similar lows, you could call this Class B, classic bullish divergence. Even if you don't, it could still be looked at as just bullish convergence, higher low on price, higher low on the MACD, higher low on the RSI. So on VYGR, you just got to hold above 19.5, and eventually you got to hope that you break above this supply line. GSAT, hidden bullish divergence is confirmed on the 4-hour. Probably just something like this, upsloping channel with hidden bullish divergence. As long as you hold that domain line, it looks fine. Also above the 114 previous support level. It's good for right now. CODX, let me just delete this. That never played out. It's still above this important level of $8. You know, it's been consolidating here for a couple months now. Let's check out the daily time frame. No divergence on the daily, but starting to look like an inverse head and shoulders. I think Cheddar Freeze requested this one. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Break out of that neckline. Then you got the $10 resistance. You break 10 bucks. You still have a gap filled to $11.79. Traded Codex was one of my, or CODX, however I say it, was one of my most traded tickers last summer. Like all the way over here, I traded this one a lot. In like May, June, July, traded this one a ton. I also traded VIR a lot, if anybody knows VIR, another biotech type of stock. Traded a lot of Nikola last summer. Nikola was probably my most traded ticker up until Fisker. Like all I did for like literally a month and a half when it was going crazy was just like day trade Nikola, which worked out. I traded Nikola. That was one of my best streaks ever. Obviously I didn't have, you know, the same amount of capital when I was doing it, but it was a great streak. Champion Print, gonna make you proud, I promise. Hey, you're making us all proud. Every single one of you makes me proud. Every time I see somebody, you know, sharing charts and learning how to do this the right way, it always makes me proud. You know, that's definitely one of the most satisfying things, to see people take what I try to teach and use it and hopefully make money doing so, or at least do better at not losing money, you know, managing your risk both ways. It works both ways. Yeah. CODX. I'm still just shaken up. Grace, same case. We've been looking at this one every night. I have no clue. Like, I just don't know. Doesn't mean it's going to go up. Doesn't mean it's going to go down. There's not much I can do here. I hope you understand why. Apple holding this demand line. Still above the 200-day moving average. Kind of looks like an ascending triangle to me. A lot of people have different interpretations of the structure on Apple. I think that you have a pretty clear sell wall at 137 from this high, and this high. Pretty much that is your resistance regardless of this one fake out. And then this is a very clear demand line. So I am looking at this like an ascending triangle. 3 touches on the top, 4 to 5 on the bottom. Pretty much everything about this is textbook except for this fake out. I mean, even the fake out could be considered fine. Fake outs are normal. And you're above 200-day moving average. It looks fine to me as long as it holds these levels. You know, it's had a few scares. So, you know, it's broken it, got back above. I'm not too sure. You know, I mean, I still like how this looks. It's obviously one of my favorite companies. As it is probably for most people in terms of stocks, one of the best performing stocks ever. So you just got to hold this area, you know, this demand line. APDN, very gappy 4 hour. Anything above 572 is bullish. You know, I don't see much of a pattern, but that's definitely a very strong support. And I guess this would be what you'd want to break out of, this little supply line. You just ignore that like scam wick. Break out of that, 200-day moving average is like 760. That could be tested next. LAZR, this was a trade that never saw the light of day. Ended up playing out. You know, this was beautiful. Falling wedge, classic bullish divergence. Kind of a scuffed harmonic, but definitely an XABCD with some interesting points. And yeah, started making high lows, broke over the 200-day moving average. Already just made a nice move. It looks like it's found resistance twice at around that 618 retrace, right over here and over here. Maybe trying to create this rounding bottom. We'll see what this turns into. Wrong button. We'll see what that turns into. But I guess anything above 26 would be pretty bullish. And as long as you maybe hold above this support. Nate Allen with a $10 donation and keeping the vibes going. Yeah, was I starting to fall asleep there a little bit again? I'm trying my best tonight. That definitely helped. Everybody's helping out. But like truly, I mean, how many times do I come on the stream and say I'm tired? Like that, I never complain. I never try to complain. I love what I do. It's just some days, like yesterday and today. Yesterday I was able to kind of, you know, get more energy, but like today's been so long, so long. And it was one of my first red days in a while. But I'm just tired. We all get tired. Thank you again for the 10, keeping the vibes going. Drop the vibes in the chat. Shout out Nate Allen, shout out Print, shout out everybody who's supporting the stream. Let's get it. Thank you. LAZR, like I just feel bad because I'm not more hyped up and like energized. I'm genuinely just, you know, try my best right now. Like if yesterday, you know, I would have gone crazy, I probably would have broken this window, which you can't even see. I don't know. One day we'll break the window. SLEZR, OCG. $4 is an important level. You're above it. As long as you can hold above it, it looks fine. It's at 520. Resistance is around 650. Kind of in the middle of support and resistance. There was classic bullish divergence down over here. Go to sleep. Yeah, I'll go to sleep. Is actually, I'm probably not. Thing is, like, it's weird. Like, I'm super tired right now. I'll end the stream, probably get like a snack, then I'll get in bed, and then I'll be wide awake. That happens like so often. And then I stay up till like 3 a.m. and then I have to wake up at 9 a.m. Like, if there's one thing I really need to improve, it's my sleep schedule. Because even on the weekends, I'm sleeping like 6 or 7 hours, which that's still pretty good. I'm sure a lot of you who are older than me are like, wow, you should be grateful for that. But, you know, for my age, definitely lacking some sleep. Melatonin, I don't know if melatonin's my my vibe. I've had it a couple times. It doesn't really make me tired either, which I guess is like how could that be true? Because there's like chemicals in it that literally make you tired, but my brain is weird. I work differently. I'm built different. What else? OCG, we got that. Benadryl, I've never had Benadryl. I know it's like a drowsy allergy medicine. I don't know if I'd have it just to sleep. You know, I don't need anything to go to sleep. I don't know. My sleep schedule is weird. Let me look up in the chat. Everybody's just recommending me drugs. I mean, they're medicines, but medicines are, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. Am I even making sense right now? That's how tired I am. Do we have more tickers? Thank you for the almost 50 likes as well. I probably missed some takers. I'm sorry. Probably missed like 4 or 5 of them for the last 4 or 5 people who dropped them. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the night just because I can barely even speak at this point. But thank you all so much for all the support. Shout out Print, shout out Nate Allen, shout out to everybody watching the stream, liking the stream, joining the Discord. Thank you all so much for supporting me, helping to change my life. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all, you know, best of luck tomorrow trading. This is the final stream of the week as the market will be closed tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. Sunny, I'll be looking for your Discord message. And yeah, sound like you need a doctor. Crazy that your best friend is almost one. Yeah, that is crazy, Thorn. See, like, I don't even know what I just said. I just said, yeah, that is crazy. Like, I just can't even like function right now. I slept for about 5 hours last night, and then I worked for about, well, I've been working since 8:30, so about, I can't even count. That's 12, that's like 14 hours. Wife has been giving me a CBD roller thing, keeps me sleeping longer. Interesting. Pulling all-nighter. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna stream for the rest of the night for sure. And yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight. Yeah, I'll look at AHT for you, Nate. Sure. You know, pulled back today, but it did close above, you know, this 5 to 575 area that used to be resistance and support. As long as it holds above this high from November 18th, as long as it can close above that level, it looks fine. The next resistance is 853. You know, obviously there were far better entry areas. Even right over here, there was a bull flag on the 1 hour with hidden bullish divergence, but it could do the same thing again, you know, make another bull flag over here and then get triple hidden bullish divergence and then continue running up. You know, this thing's definitely catching a lot of hype on social media. It obviously depends on how long the hype lasts. I don't know anything about the company fundamentally, so I can't speak on that. But you just gotta hope that you hold this this $5 to $6 area. Otherwise, you know, not much support below that. I mean, you have $4 next, but that's, you know, 20% lower. So yeah. And there was obviously I think the CEO or something was on CNBC, shouted out, or I didn't watch it. I just saw it on Twitter. I think he talked about Zach Morris or something. I don't know. There's so many things that happened today. Futures still, I mean, the S&P futures are down 0.20%, NASDAQ futures down 0.06%. And yeah, that's a wrap for this week of streaming. I'll be live again on Sunday night at 9 p.m. EST. For the new people in the stream, I stream every single day that the market is open the next day, or I stream every night that the market is open the following day at 9 p.m. EST. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Try and get the stream to 50 likes if you can. Thank you for the insane support. And I'll see you on Sunday night. All right. Shout out to print, for real. Shout out to print. Peace out. Okay.